Tonight, the Panthers face the Medfield Warriors in an important Tri-Valley League large division matchup. My name is Tom Emmons, and alongside is the color man who's always living large in the Tri-Valley League, the legend, Jay Wyman. Jay, Holliston is fresh off a big win over Westwood, but Medfield has its back to the wall after losing at home to Ashland last week. How does it look for the Panthers tonight?
Well, I'm looking for the Panthers tonight. First of all, defensively, I just think they have just played tremendous football defensively, Holliston has. The other thing is, offensively, that offensive line has just been dominant. They've won 2 games really by dominating defensively, and when the offensive line, the running game is doing good. And Matt Avanitis has looked really good, too, at quarterback. Some of the receivers Holliston has. So I see if Holliston stays focused and they play their game, I think they're going to be in pretty good shape.
Captains out for the coin toss. Number 72, Scott Elliott. Number 57, Will Crowley. Number 11, Henry Naughton. And number 50, Sam Lynch. Panthers come into this game with a record of 2-0. They're averaging 34 points a game, giving up 11 on the defense. Their head coach, Todd Kiley's in his 16th season with the Panthers. His record, 131 wins against 42 losses. Medfield's record is 1-2. They've averaged 15 points a game on offense, giving up 22 on the defense. Their head coach, Eric Ormberg, is in his 8th season with the Warriors. His record, 38-42. Todd Kiley's career record is 12-3 against Medfield. Coach Ormberg, 1-6 against the Panthers. Medfield be receiving the kick. And we'll be back with the opening kickoff in just a moment. And now Los, our onboard statistician here at HCAT, giving us the pregame lowdown.
Thanks, Tom. You know, these two teams played last year at Comedian Field, with Medfield coming away with a 28-12 win over the Panthers. The Warriors tore it up on the ground, amassing 235 rushing yards behind a big game from senior running back Mason Junta. The Panthers only had 238 yards combined in that game, so they'll need to step up the production on offense this time around. It could come from Billy Nash, who had 115 all-purpose yards in this game last year, including 65 yards and a touchdown receiving. On the defensive side of the ball, there were no sacks for the Panthers defense last year against Medfield, so look for Holliston to make getting pressure on the quarterback a priority for the defense tonight. The temperature on the field at kickoff, a crisp 56 degrees with a few clouds overhead, but otherwise clear. It was raining pretty hard earlier in the day, but right now you couldn't really ask for much better football weather.
Thank you, Los. And Connor Mulvaney, number 4, with the kickoff. Taken at the 10-yard line by Joey Vachon. And that's number 13, Steve Williams, brings it out to midfield, and the Warriors will have excellent field position to start this game. We got a timeout on the field. So 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line of Medfield. Quarterback hands off to number 13, Steve Williams. Tackle by Elliott. Starting defense for the Panthers up front is Scott Elliott, number 57, Will Crowley, number 51, David Harding. Number 77, Chris O'Connell. Number 22, Dylan Ibbotson. Number 4, Connor Mulvaney. We got Naughton and Gimblett, Keast, and Schneelock for the Panthers. 2nd and 10. Murray back to pass down the left sideline. Covered by Keast. Intercepted by Sean Keast. Number 17 up the sideline across midfield, and the Panthers have the ball after the turnover.
That's a tough throw for a quarterback to come out and throw that deep sideline pattern. And just underthrown just a little bit, but fortunately for Holliston, Keast was there to make the interception, finish off the play, and run it back and give Holliston a really nice field position to start off on the offensive side of the ball.
Starting offense for the Panthers up front at center, number 54, Ryan Burchard. Got Elliott, Crowley, Sam Lynch, number 50, and number 55, Zach Athey up front. At quarterback, number 6, Matt Arvanitis. Billy Nash, number 2, in motion to the right. Handoff is straight away to Tristan Benson, number 21.
Yeah,
and we got a flag on the play.
The timing of this was either offside or illegal procedure. Legal shift for Holliston.
Other starters for the Panthers, Anthony DeZindel at number 5, Henry Naughton, number 11, Topher Ryan, number 10 at the tight end spot. So it'll be first down and 15 for the Panthers. 9:58 to go in the first quarter. We're just underway. Medfield ran 2 plays, and an interception by Sean Keese has given the Panthers the ball.
Well, Holliston in the Norton game had several penalties offensively. Last week they really cleaned it up and did a nice job. They weren't necessarily penalty-free, but played much fewer penalties than they were in the Norton game.
Arvanitis looks right, fires, blocked, incomplete. Through 2 games, the Panther offense is averaging 309 yards per game, 143 through the air, 166 on the ground. The Medfield defense is giving up 330 yards a game, 140 through the air, 190 on the ground for their 3 games. DeZindel in motion to the left. Arvanitis hands off to Benson. Big hole, slashes to the left. He's crossed the 45 to the 43-yard line.
Tristan Benson with a nice 11-yard pickup there and runs really hard. He does a nice job. He's good back, strong. He can shift a lot on his own. He cut on a dime. He's really, really a good runner. When he puts his focus and stays focused in the game, he's really quite a weapon for Holliston.
3rd and 5 for the Panthers. Tristan Benson, 18 rushes for 107 yards, a 5.9 average, and a touchdown. Naughton in motion to the right. Arvanitis fakes it to Benson, and a connection with Henry Naughton, number 11, is a first down at the Medfield 35.
That was a nice option run by Holliston right there, because Matt Arvanitis could have kept the ball and maybe gotten a first down too, but he saw Naughton open. He's able to hit Henry for a first down. Nice job. Holliston's coming out, except for the penalty. They're doing very well offensively so far.
Billy Nash and DeZindel split to the left. Benson alone back. Handoff is to him. Keeps pumping the legs and gets away from a defender and is close to a Panther first down.
That's what I was talking about. He's a powerful kid. He's strong. You wouldn't know it by looking at him, but he's strong. He's a very, very strong runner. He doesn't give up. Keeps pumping those legs and keeps moving forward. And he picked up probably an additional 4 or 5 yards here to get a second and short.
So 2nd down and 1 for the Panthers.
And this opens up at this point of the field, Tom, and with a second and short like this, the whole playbook's in use. You can see whatever Coach Kiley can do, whatever he wants here.
So Topher Ryan, number 10, tight end to the right. Connor Mulvaney, number 4, wing back to the right. Nash in motion. Arvanitis hands off to Benson. He turns the corner on the right-hand side, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Another Panther first down.
Yeah, and another play by Tristan Benson. And, you know, they got the 2-packs really working well this year, he and Dylan Ibbotson. Holliston likes that. The history of Holliston we've seen, they always have at least 2 or sometimes 3 running backs that they can use. And they're all interchangeable.
Ibbotson in the game behind Arvanitis. Nash in motion. Arvanitis fakes the handoff to Ibbotson, but he is thrown down by big number 81. Yeah, that is 6'7", 220-pound Elliot Mance.
We have a penalty here after the play, I think.
The referee's talking it over. Personal foul against the defense. And so the Panthers are going to have a first down here with 7:38 to go in the first quarter. No score. Panthers started this drive near midfield, and they are...
It's going to be half the distance of the goal, so they'll be having the ball around the 10-yard line.
So it'll be first and goal for Holliston.
Little extracurricular activity there in the lines.
Well, Medfield's got a lot on the line. This is their second Tri-Valley League large game. They lost a close one to Ashland last week, 14-7. And if they've got hopes of a TVL large title, they can't lose this game. Arbonitis with DeZindelet and Nash to his left. Handoff to Ibbotson. Ibbotson slashes across the 5 to the 3.
He's so strong. He's the other one, though, Dylan. And, you know, we saw, I think he's one of these kids who really we're seeing a lot more of him. I'm not sure quite whether he improved or not because he was a good runner last year, but he seems to cut very well also. We've seen him make some really sharp turns, and with his power, that really helps him.
Ibbotson had 226 yards and 5 touchdowns last year. He's already got 145 yards and a pair of touchdowns on the season. Benson back in the game, number 21. Mulvaney slides to the left-hand side. Reverse handoff to Benson. He hits the right side. He's going to be marked down. I guess they had Ibbotson to the 5. This will take the ball to the 3 or the 4-yard line. So third down and goal from the 4.
6:25 left to go in the first quarter. No score yet. Holliston with the ball, which they obtained being a turnover.
So Ryan and Mulvaney move to the left-hand side. They swing the formation around. Here comes DeZindelet in motion to the left. Handoff to Benson. Trying to find that corner. Slashes inside. Touchdown, Panthers!
Well, two things, Tom, on this drive. One, just like we said in the past, look out for this offensive line. They're very, very good. The other thing is Benson, and if it's on the one number, Benson really did a nice job there, and that was a really nice run. He got down really low. They weren't able to see him at the beginning. Once they reacted to him, he was able to use his power and speed and his ability to cut to get in there for the touchdown.
Connor Mulvaney lines up for the extra point.
Offsides. That's off.
Bad snap.
This is an offsides by Medfield, so Holliston's going to get another shot at this.
So Holliston will get a chance to do it again. Now, you've said this many times, Jay, now that you move it forward 1.5 yards, now do you think about going for 2?
Yeah, I would absolutely go for 2 in this situation, to be honest with you. You know, you're moving the ball. You've got that big line. You want to take advantage of it.
Brian Gary moves the block, and Holliston's going to take a timeout. With 5:54 to go in the first quarter, Holliston leading 6-0.
Let's see here if they're going for 2. I think they probably will.
I think they're coming out for war.
You're not going to call a timeout and waste a timeout unless you're going to come out for something.
See number 14, Brian Gary in at the quarterback spot with War. Pitches it to Ibbotson. Right side. It's good. 2 points for the Panthers. So 5:54 to go in the first quarter. Panthers score first. It's 8-0 Holliston.
Oh, penalties will kill you, and both coaches, I'm sure, weren't happy with the 2 penalties that just happened, but that one just cost Medfield actually 2 points because they probably, with the snap that Holliston had on the first attempt there, they weren't going to score anything. So 8-0 Holliston, 5:54 left to go in the first quarter here.
So for Tristan Benson, that 4-yard run was his second touchdown of the season, the 5th of his Panther career. And just what the doctor ordered for Holliston here on the road against Medfield. A quick 8-0 lead. And last time Holliston kicked number 13, Steve Williams, just got a great return out near midfield. Mulvaney's kick actually bounces at the 18. Williams picks it off the ground, and Holliston swarms him under with right around the 21-yard line.
You know, sometimes when you bobble that ball like that, what happens is the kicking team breaks down a little bit. They don't hold their lanes enough, and you get a nice little break. You can get off and get a big run back. But that time, Holliston held their lanes, and they were able to take care of the receiver way down there deep in Medfield territory.
The Warrior offense has averaged 215 yards a game, 156 through the air, only 59 on the ground. Panther defense giving up only 123 yards a game, 70 in the air, 53 on the ground. The quarterback for Medfield, number 12, Ryan Murray. Oh, actually changed it up, number 2. And a pitch to the outside, a gain about 6. That's James Cozzolito, a junior. Cozzolito and Murray had quite a battle during the preseason for the starting quarterback spot. Murray had started the first 3 games, the sophomore. But now Cozzolito in there, number 2. 3 backs in the backfield surrounding him. He hands off to number 13, Williams. Slides to the left, out of bounds, and close to a first down. We got a timeout on the field with 5:05 to go in the first quarter. Panthers leading 8-0. So first down and 10 for the Warriors. 2 receivers split to Cozzolito's right, 1 split to the left. Hands off to the tailback, and up comes a couple of Panthers. Number 72, Scott Elliott. That was 59, Sam Carell on the tackle.
Well, that's going to be a tough place to run tonight if you're trying to run to that side, because Scott is just one of these kids that's going to be dominant on either side of the ball and one of the best two-way players in the state.
2nd and 12, Cozzolito drops back, looks to the flat. Nice coverage over there again by number 17, Sean Keast.
Yeah, and again, these are tough passes to throw. You know, if you're a quarterback, throwing across like that, and right there, I mean, Sean had an opportunity. If he was able to get his head around a little more quickly, he might have picked that ball off too. So it's a long third down here. Now this is where you see Holliston come in a lot of times, and they get very aggressive, and they will blitz on 3rd and long. And here they come.
3rd and 12, and the snap gets away from Cozzolito. Gets away from one Panther, dumps it off to Jaminski, number 20. He was tackled. The ball, Panthers are signaling like the ball came loose. But they're calling him down. It'll be 4th down and 12 for the Warriors. So a change in quarterback and a change in some personnel. And the Warriors did not get things moving either of these first 2 drives.
3:30 left to go here in the first quarter. Holliston going to get the ball back again.
Dropping back for the Panthers, number 24, Mitch Gimblett. And Billy Nash, number 2. Gimblett takes it at his own 45. And he's forward to the 49-yard line. Nifty return for number 24.
Mitch Gimbley, I mean, he's just fearless out there. He'll catch the ball. He's very confident in his ability to catch the ball. And he'll fair catch if he has to, but if he doesn't have to, you won't see him fair catching. He wants that ball, and he wants to run with it.
So Panthers again with excellent field position at the 49. Through 2 games, their average starting position is their own 39-yard line.
Amazing.
So Arvanitis with Nash to his left. Benson the lone back. Zindelet split to the right. And Holliston's going to call a timeout with 3:15 to go in the first quarter, leading Medfield 8-0. Arvanitis with the handoff to Benson. He slashes the left side, cuts it back. A nice block by Billy Nash brings him to the 20-yard line, and a 31-yard gain for Holliston.
Well, the young sophomore, you know, I keep telling you, he's a good one, and he's got the moves and he's got the power, and he'll twist and turn.
A great block by number 2, Billy Nash, though, and Benson read it perfectly.
And isn't that always the way, Tom? When you get that running, when you get downfield, you need those receivers to block for you because you've already outrun the big dogs on the line.
Number 13, Teddy Ratcliffe in the game to the left with Nash. They go to Benson again, this time to the right side. He gets across the 20 to the 18-yard line. Bring up a 2nd and 6.
And once again, this line is opening up these holes, and you know when you're as quick as Tristan Benson is and Dylan Ibbotson, you can get in those holes really quickly. And once you get by that first layer of defense, you know, unless those linebackers are playing really well, you're going to make some yardage.
Ibbotson in the game at tailback. Ratcliffe and Zindelet to the right, Nash to the left. Topher Ryan to the left. Ratcliffe in motion. Hand off to Ibbotson right over the center. He bangs out a couple of tough yards down to the 16. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5.
3rd and 5 and 4 down territory here for Holliston, so they don't need to make the first down here, although I'm sure they'd love to with 1.5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. This has been a quarter so far where Holliston in time of possession has, I think, been pretty dominant.
So far this year, the Panthers are 33% on 3rd down conversions.
Arvanitis with the fake, rolls out, looks to the end zone, fires, complete to Nash. And Billy Nash spins his way inside the 5 to the 3. And Holliston is going to have another 1st and goal.
Well, evidently someone on that coaching staff saw the good block that Billy Nash gave for Tristan Benson. He said, okay, we'll give you a little money to pay you back here a little bit. And nice rollout by Matt Arvanitis. We talked about Matt a lot, and, you know, I've said he's very good rolling out. Exceptional passer when he's moving.
Coming into this game, 12 for 23, 265 yards, 3 touchdowns. The Panthers go to war. Ibbotson, right side, touchdown, Panthers!
Well, once again, it's that offensive line is just really playing out of their minds tonight.
So Dylan Ibbotson from 3 yards out makes it 14-0 with 39 seconds to go in the first quarter. Holliston's going to line up for 2 again. Gary pitches it. Ibbotson right-hand side. Did not make it. So, but Dylan Ibbotson hit the end zone, pay dirt the first time from 3 yards out. That's his 3rd touchdown of the season, 8th of his Panther career. And Holliston leading Medfield 14-0 with 39 seconds to go in the first quarter.
you know, you hear a lot these days, especially with the advent of like fantasy football and stuff. A lot of people looking at, well, how's the receiver doing? How's his back doing? How's his quarterback doing? But no matter what you say, it still comes down to the same thing. You've got to have a great offensive line and a great defense in order to win ball games.
So Panther offense up front. Again, that's Burchard, Elliott, Athey, Crowley, and Lynch, along with Topher Ryan and Connor Mulvaney. That front seven has really done the job here in the first quarter.
Well, they've done the job since the opening kickoff over at Norton.
Mulvaney's kick bounces at the 22. Williams at the 15. And he is cornered up. Brian Gary with the tackle. And again, Medfield's going to start back at their own 20-yard line.
You know, one of the things when you're scoring 30 or 35 or 40 points a game, you get a lot of practice doing kickoff teams. And Holliston, once again, you can see it. They're holding their lanes, they're doing the right thing, and they have so much speed and athleticism on that kickoff team that if you get a shifty back, and then once in a while someone might pop one, but most of the time Holliston's going to be able to control the kick returner and get them and put teams like Medfield, the opponents in tough situations, first and deep.
Number 56, Ryan Cahill, and number 78, Gabe Medeiros in at defensive tackle. And those two go to work right away. Connor Mulvaney with the tackle, along with number 32, Kevin Lyons. Leading tacklers for the Panthers after 2 games, number 24, Mitch Gimblett with 14. Kevin Lyons with 12 and 2 sacks. Ibbotson with 12 tackles and 2 sacks. And Mulvaney with 8. Second down and 9 for the Warriors. And that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter with the Panthers leading the Warriors 14-0. And it's time for the Panther Player of the Week. Brought to you by HollistonFootball.com. All Panthers all the time. And last week against Westwood, the HollistonFootball.com Player of the Week was
Scott Elliott.
Scott Elliott, number 72. You talked about somebody who's been leading the line play, and the Harvard commit has not disappointed through the first 2 1/4 games, let's call it, for big number 72. He had this great quote in the paper last week. Talked about the defense. Our defense is fast, and our defense is edgy by nature, Elliott said. That's what we focus on, playing with intensity, playing fast, playing physical. We take pride in those things.
Well, you talk about him leading the linemen, and actually there's 2 functions that you talk about. One is being a lineman, where he is just absolutely maybe one of the best ever at Holliston. But secondly, you talk about leading, and the leadership that he has and the leadership he's shown is really shown the way. He's been out working all summer, all the offseason, everything. He's out there doing the work that a lot of people don't see.
Number 33, Cameron Junta in a tailback spot. Casalito back to pass. Chase from the pocket. Up comes Lyons. And then finished off there by number 77, Chris O'Connell. Casalito actually gained a yard on the play.
Kevin Lyons is a name you're going to hear a lot of. He has just been really something. The sophomore safety and the defensive back, he comes up on a lot of plays and does a lot of blitzing for Coach Athey.
So third down and 9. Casalito in trouble. Fires high, incomplete. Mitch Gimblett on the coverage.
Yeah, that was really nice coverage by Mitch, and I'll tell you why, because if he got there a second sooner, it probably would have been pass interference. He was able to hold up until the receiver had his hand on the ball.
So 4th down and 9 will bring out the Medfield punter, number 87, Cam Lunn, senior, handles all their kicking duty. He's got a field goal and 3 extra points this season. Last year he had 36 extra points for the 9-2 Medfield Warriors.
Wow, nice
high
punt.
Kick all the way back. And And Billy Nash lets it go, and it's downed at the Holliston 37-yard line.
That was a heck of a kick. He boomed that one, high and deep. 10:06 left to go in the first half. Holliston up 14-0. Got the ball back for the third time tonight.
That was a 47-yard kick.
And it was high.
So Panthers on their third offensive drive of the night. 10 minutes and 6 seconds to go in the first half, leading 14-0. Arvanitis lining up his receivers. He's got DeZindalet, Nash, and Radcliffe to the right. Topher Ryan, the tight end, to the left. Benson, the tailback. Handoff to Benson. Oh, he faked it. What a great fake. Down the field to Topher Ryan. Number 10 with the catch at the 30-yard line.
When they shifted, they had the three receivers over here on this side. Medfield kind of shifted their defensive backs over, which kind of opened up Topher being able to come across the field and get in position and make a nice catch.
But Benson really sold that fake right there, and I love the way Arvanitis put the ball on his hip after pulling it out from Benson so nobody could see the ball. Then he pulled it up, and wide open was number 10 for a big gain.
Well, the other thing we talk about Matt Arvanitis is not just athletically how good he is, but he's also a very intelligent quarterback. Does a lot of the things correctly.
And that puts the Panthers over 100 yards tonight, 116 total yards for the Panthers.
Thank you, Los. There's the handoff to Benson. Following number big 57, Will Crowley. And inside the 10-yard line as Benson really rips one off there.
Well, give that one to the captain, Will Crowley. Nice job blocking there, and they allowed Tristan to get outside, cut the right way he wanted to cut, and it took 2 or 3 Medfield players then to bring him down after that.
Tristan Benson's starting to heat up. He's got 80 yards on 8 carries so far.
Wow, 10 yards a carry.
So the Panthers first and goal with 9:05 to go in the first half, leading 14-0. Radcliffe shifts to the left, and we got a timeout on the field. So Nash and DeZindalet split wide to the left. Radcliffe in the slot, Benson the lone back, Topher Ryan tight end to the right. Handoff to Benson, slashes through, he's inside the 5. Brings up second down. Second down and 3. He made it all the way down inside. So second and goal from the 3. Same formation. Same play. Benson not touched. Touchdown, Panthers!
Well, what happened there is what Holliston did is they went into a very widespread offense, and it pulled everybody out, stretched that defense really, really deep, so that Holliston was able to just, if you could just, in a position, I talked a little earlier about how you got to go 2 levels. You got to beat that defensive line and then linebackers, but there were really no linebackers there because of the coverage, and once they beat the defensive line, Tristan was going to go in untouched.
Brian Gary with the hold. Connor Mulvaney with the kick. It's up and good. So 8:22 to go in the first half. Panthers with a 21-0 lead. Tristan Benson with his second touchdown of the game, 3rd of the season, 6th of his Panther career. And Holliston are 3 for 3 on their offensive drives.
Yeah, you want to talk about what's going right. Well, right now, just about everything for Holliston. I mean, the only thing I can imagine they really didn't do correctly was on that one penalty in the first offensive play that they ran. But they've really done it. Offense, defense, special teams. They've done a nice job here tonight so far. Now we talked about this in the Westwood game too, but how in Norton Holliston got their head 20-0. They really were rolling. They looked like they're rolling. You know, and Norton was able to creep back into that ball game and make a ball game of it in the second half. So you got to kind of keep the old, what they call the old pedal to the metal type situation here.
As Bill Belichick could say, there's nobody winning games in the second quarter out there. Steve Williams on the return. And he spun down at the 25-yard line.
Again, nice coverage by that Holliston kickoff team. .8:14 left to go in this first half. Holliston leading 20-0. They've had the ball 3 times. They scored 3 times. Want to give a big shout out and thank you to all of our people watching on Facebook tonight.
Yeah, we are Facebook Live for all of our fans, coast to coast, from Canada to California.
They're everywhere.
Nova Scotia, eh? New formation for Medfield with 2 backs behind Causalito. Ball pitched to the left-hand side. In there, in the middle of that, number 4, Connor Mulvaney.
Medfield's still trying to find a groove on offense. They only have 13 total yards.
Wow. It's
second down and 9 for the Warriors. Handoff to number 33, Genta. He picks up a couple to the 30-yard line. Tackled by Lyons. That'll bring up third down and 5.
That's what we were talking about earlier, Kevin Lyons, and he's made himself a force on this defense. And when you get in a passing situation like this probably is here, as I said, Coach Athy loves to turn him loose.
Causalito hands it off to Williams. He's tackled by number 24, Gimblett, just short of a first down. Going to mark him at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, this
fourth down and 1.
This four down territory. I think here, when you're in a situation like this, you've got to keep control of the ball. Now, the flip side of that is if Holliston stops you, it's a very short field, and you can put the game quite a bit out of reach. So this is a big play for, especially for Medfield here.
Causalito takes it on the quarterback draw, and it looks like he made it to the 35. And we got a flag. That was a late flag. Dead ball foul.
Unsportsmanlike?
Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Panthers.
Is it? I thought he signaled the first down. This is on Medfield.
No, it's on Medfield, but it was after the first down was acquired.
Exactly, Los.
So it's a dead ball, so the first down is still good.
Right.
Oh,
that was to indicate a first down for Medfield. Yeah.
Thank you, Los. He's got his a referee signaling book right there.
He's our guy. You know how the networks have all their referees and stuff like that. That's Los. We got Los here.
Hey, we want to throw a shout out to Florida, North Carolina, New York, and Maine. Apparently, we've got some HCAT fans up there watching the game tonight.
Awesome.
First down and 10, ball at the 21-yard line. Causalito hands it off to Williams. Panthers swarm him under number 51, David Harding, at the bottom of that pile. We're down to 6 minutes to go in the first half. Medfield got a second down and 6. Causalito takes it himself, but that's number 32. I think that's Kevin Lyons or Ibbotson with the tackle. Ibbotson with the tackle there.
Dylan Ibbetson's another. We talked a little bit about him offensively. Defensively, he's a force, too, at linebacker.
Loss of a yard, 3rd down and 7. Casalito hands it off. And I think that was probably Genta, number 33. I don't think he went anywhere.
So now, obviously, Medfield's got to go back here and...
So 4th down and 4. Now, this is a little tougher situation, so they're going to drop back Cam Lund to punt. Billy Nash will take a few steps deeper this time.
You may want to watch.
Gimblett is the up back.
You may want to watch here for something. No, I guess they are going to punt.
Oh, and it's blocked. So coming in off the left-hand side, number 51, David Harding. That is his 2nd block of the season. He had one against Norton on opening night.
Well, he closed in when they were punting. I believe it was the first punt. He kind of coming in. I believe it was him who kind of closed in on the punter there. And what the punter does, this particular punter, he goes kind of to his right to punt the ball instead of dead on, and that's exactly where Harding's coming in from. And he made a nice block.
So 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Ball's at the 18-yard line of Medfield. To Zindelet and Nash to the right. Ratcliffe to the left. Handoff to Benson, left side. Flag flies. Touchdown, Panthers.
This one may be coming back, though. I think Holliston may have held. Yeah, holding on Holliston. 4:15 left to go in the first half. Holliston up 21-0 in marching.
I don't think Benson needed that grab, whoever put one on there.
Well, it was way on the outside on the left-hand side. So I think you're right. I don't think it was in play, but you know what? You got to call him.
So it'll be 1st and 20 for Holliston. Nash left to Zindelet right. Ratcliffe in the slot. Arvanitis fires to his left to Nash. Billy Nash with the catch. About a 9-yard gain. Billy Nash last year with 2 catches for 78 yards and a touchdown. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 11.
Once again, though, when you're down here in 4-down territory, this is kind of like a 1st down play you can run here.
Benson to Arvanitis is right. Fake to Benson. Arvanitis handed it off to Benson, and he slashes close to a 1st down. Those two are really meshing very well.
They do a nice job. They really do a nice job on the fakes. Here they go.
And it's going to be 1st and goal as they do give the Panthers the 1st down. Inside handoff to Ibbotson, left side. Pushes the shoulder in. Touchdown, Panthers!
Well, once again, great running, great faking by the quarterback, Matt Arvanitis. But boy, oh boy, is that offensive line just doing an incredible job down there tonight.
4 rushing touchdowns for the Panthers. Mulvaney's kick up and good.
Oh.
So with 3:24 to go in the first half, the Panthers lead the Warriors 28-0. Dylan Ibbotson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of his of the season, 8th of his Panther career. And I tell you, it's just been right, left, right, left, right for the Panthers with those two backs, 21 and 22.
Yeah, you get the backs, and they're running so well tonight, and of course, as I said, that offensive line giving them the opportunities, and they're just you do have to be able to take advantage of it. Even if you have a great offensive line, you have to have the running backs who can come in, start quickly, get into that second level, and make their moves and go. And fortunately, Holliston has a couple. Actually, they probably have 3 or 4 who can do that this year. And behind that offensive line, that's just a really tough thing for any defense.
That was actually Dylan Ibbetson's 9th touchdown of his Panther career.
Last year, we had talked about this a couple of games ago, the Norton game. I mean, how Dylan last year was mainly a blocking back, and he was a really good one.
Mulvaney's kick taken on a bounce. Returned up the sideline, pushed out of bounds as he crosses the 30. And that's where Medfield will start with 3:15 to go here in the first half. Panthers up 28-0.
Well, right now, as I said earlier, they're playing on all cylinders. They're just really doing everything correctly.
Well, Medfield coach Ornberg knows his team is a little younger. He graduated 18 seniors last year off that 9-2 squad.
They had a really good team last year. Medfield was really, that was a special team they had.
And then they did lose their quarterback, Mitch Gonser, to Milton Academy, and one of their offensive linemen to Dexter Southfield.
He was a big one. You know, sometimes, especially obviously with a quarterback, but even with if you have an exceptional lineman, you know, if you lose one of those guys for whatever reason early in the year, or you come into the season without him, all of your planning in the offseason goes for naught.
The timeout on the field with 2:52 to go in the first half, 28-0 Holliston. So 2nd and 8 for the Warriors, and they are going to put Steve Williams, number 13, in a quarterback.
This will be a wildcat, I'm sure.
Williams fakes the handoff, takes it himself around the left-hand side, pushes a couple of Panthers backwards, but Lyons and Tim Aylward, number 9, on the tackle.
I think you can pretty much count on it. If Williams is back there, he's going to be more than likely running the ball himself.
So 3rd down and 2 for Medfield. Williams hands it to Genta, and he's tackled right away by number 56, Ryan Cahill, and 77, Chris O'Connell.
Hurry up offense for Medfield. They're going for it on 4th down.
4th and 1 for Medfield. We're down to 2 minutes to go here in the first half. 28-0 Holliston.
It's interesting, too, because they're keeping Williams in a shotgun, or actually what they call the pistol, with a running back there.
Williams back to paths on 4th and 1, puts it up deep, but way out of bounds. Coverage very close by Anthony DeZindel at number 5. So Holliston will take over on downs at the 39-yard line with 1:38 to go in the first half.
Well, I'll tell you, that surprised me. I thought for sure that Williams, actually, I thought he'd come up, play in the natural quarterback position up right under the center, and just use his strength, because that's what they did on the other, was it 4th down play, when they just used it. But
you know, a little inside football, Jay, is that it's probably harder for him because he hasn't practiced much to actually take that direct snap. We've seen it many times where that exact same thing has happened. Shotgun quarterback comes up and then fumbles the quarterback sneak. Arvanitis scrambles, fires, open, complete. And that was Teddy Radcliffe, number 13, with the catch. That's his first catch of the season and a Panther first down.
Clock moving, 1:25, 1:24 left to go in the first half.
Arvanitis to the other side. Caught by Ryan, number 10. He's down at the 20-yard line, gain of 7.
Holliston take a timeout.
Clock stop with 1:07 to go here in the first half. 28-0, Panthers driving. So second down and 3, ball at the 21-yard line. Radcliffe to the right. Ryan, the tight end, to the right. Zindelet with Nash in the slot. Arvanitis with the pump fake down to the corner. Wide open. Number 2, Billy Nash. Touchdown, Panthers.
Well, what happened there? The defense was spread. That offensive set that Holliston has found to do, and tonight they found some kind of they saw something in the film. Said if we spread really wide, it's going to really open up a lot of openings there. And then I think there was just some kind of a misread or something on the defensive back there and left Billy wide open. But Arvanitis with a nice pass.
Gary with the hole. Connor Mulvaney with the kick. And with 57 seconds left in the first half, the Panthers lead the Warriors 35-0. Matt Arvanitis with a 21-yard pass to Billy Nash. Billy Nash's first touchdown of the season, his second of his Panther career. And for Matt Arvanitis, that's his 4th touchdown pass of the season, the 5th of his Panther career.
Yeah, right on cue. It's exactly what we were talking about before, is that Billy Nash got down there in the corner and he just opened himself up wide so that Matt Arvanitis could see him. And Matt, he really doesn't miss very many open men. He does a really nice job of that, and especially when he's on the run. I love it when he's on the run, because I know he can do it in the pocket, but there's just a little more fun to it when he gets out there on the run, and he's just very, very, very accurate when he's on the run.
Nice pump fake by him as well, and that's how Nash just got lost in the left corner of the end zone. Mulvaney's kick bounces at the 20 and out of bounds. That'll draw a flag.
Kick went out of bounds.
57 seconds left to go in the first half.
Medfield's going to move the Panthers back 5 to the 35 and kick over again.
Well, when you got an explosive guy like Williams back there, you want him to see if he can get his hands on the ball, and they've already, even if he catches it right there, they get pretty good field position, but they're hoping that maybe he can break one.
Warriors off for a re-kick.
Mulvaney's kick taken at the 20-yard line by Williams. Slashes through, breaks a couple of tackles, spun forward, then Mulvaney makes the tackle himself at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, you got to kind of know where he is. He's a special player, Williams is, and, you know, kicking the ball right to him, he's going to make some yardage.
So 44 seconds left on the clock in the first half for the Warriors to work with. Williams with a strong arm, not sure, wasn't very accurate with that first pass he tried.
Yeah, like you say, you know, if you haven't played quarterback and you're not throwing to these guys all the time, it's a really tough position to put a kid in.
Williams on the draw play tries to find some opening, and he gets it to the sidelines. He's out of bounds at the Panther 45.
Yeah, a nice play by him, and what he did was he was able to get himself a first down, get out of bounds, and stop the clock with 34 seconds left to go in the first half. He's good. I like watching him. He's a really exciting player.
We got a timeout on the field with 34 seconds to go in the first half. Panthers leading 35-0. Number 76, senior Daniel Campbell in at defensive tackle for Holliston. Williams chased out of the pocket. He's going to take it himself, pick up about 4-5 yards. Stop the clock with 23 seconds to go.
Well, when you have a player like Williams playing at quarterback, one of the things a lot of coaches, defensive coaches will do, will put some kind of a spy on him. Maybe in this case even, you put 2.
I was going to say, Jay,
because
you need a spy but to each side of the field with this guy.
Right, the left and right side of the field. Let him get 4 or 5 yards. Just don't let him get off on a long run. 23 seconds left in the first half.
Williams to pass. Here come the Panthers. He sneaks away from the rush. Fires to the middle of the field. Caught by number 27 down at the 22-yard line. That's Nicholas Crofts. And a timeout on the field with 13 seconds to go in the first half.
That 17-yard pass completion was Medfield's longest of the night so far, and only their second completion.
Thank you, Los. Williams on the draw play. Fires to the end zone. Boxed around, no good. Incomplete.
Well, when something's not going well for you, it's just not going well for you. And what happened there was the first receiver, I thought might have had a shot at it. I don't know if Holliston player tipped the ball, but the second receiver definitely had a shot at it. But I think what he had to do was kind of twist a little bit in order to make that catch. 3 seconds left. This will be the last play without a penalty.
Williams trying to buy some time, spins away, fires to the end zone in the corner. Incomplete, out of bounds. Zindelet on the coverage. That'll bring us to the end of the first half. We've got a flag on the play.
If this is against the defense, we'll have another play here.
So there's no time on the clock, but they're going to give the Warriors another snap. So it's going to be first down for Medfield.
This is where if he still stands back in the shotgun, you want to spread your especially the interior of the line a little bit. Give him a little bit. Don't let him see it, but give him a little bit. Get those outside. Contain those outside, because now he's in a position where he doesn't have to throw the ball. He can run the ball and pick up this touchdown. So you want to make sure that your contain is taking place on both sides of the line.
So ball's on the 12-yard line. No time on the clock. Williams back to pass. Sneaks out of the pocket. Fires to the end zone. Incomplete. Knocked away by Mitch Gimblett. No penalties on the field. And that'll do it here in the first half in Medfield, as it's Holliston all over the Warriors, 35-0. We'll be back with second half action in just a moment. The teams are out on the field for the second half. This is the 66th meeting of these two schools, including a couple of times before 1925. Panthers are 44-19-2 in this series.
Well, Los gave us everything in the lowdown except the weather report, and it's really starting to get a little foggy up above here.
Meteorologist Carlos Canto.
Holliston looking for the onside kick here by Medfield.
With Los's low pressure area report.
It'll be fine. It's just a passing cloud, guys.
Okay.
Thank you, Los. Nash and Gimblett back to receive the kick for Holliston. Cameron Lunn His kick bounces at the 20, fake reverse. Nash takes it towards the Panther bench, finds some room up along the sideline across midfield to the 48-yard line, and the Panthers with great field position once again.
Well, Nash tried to sell that reverse there, and what happened was he didn't totally sell it, but he sold it just enough to freeze them for a second. So it's not like they followed the man on the reverse, but the kickoff team kind of froze for a minute, and with Nash's great speed, that gave him an opportunity to turn the corner and get a lot of yardage.
Average starting position for the Panthers, Los?
Average starting position for the Panthers is the 43-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like we had a penalty here to bring the ball back.
Guessing a block in the back.
Yep.
So that's going to back the Panthers up all the way to their 29-yard line.
Looks like they're going to try out war a little bit.
Let's see. They line up in the tight formation. And Holliston is lined up for war. Pitch to Zindelet, left-hand side. And that one is snuffed out by the Warriors.
Well, there's a couple things War can do for you. Obviously, it's a great change of pace for Holliston, but the other thing you can do is you start establishing that ground game and taking a lot of time off the clock. Although Holliston was able to run the ball very well out of the spread tonight.
Aylward, number 9, in at fullback. Brian Gary in at the quarterback spot. Zindelet on the right wing. Benson on the left. And they're going to wait till they get the 10-second signal. There it is. Pitch to Benson. Right side, finds some room, got the sideline, turns the Jets on, cuts it back, and knocked out of bounds inside the 35-yard line.
Somebody here, and I lost the number, but somebody threw it for Holliston, threw a tremendous block. I'm not sure if it was Topher. There was somebody down here that threw an incredible block that just really released Tristan.
I think you said, Los, that'll put him over the 100-yard mark.
Yeah, he's got 139 yards now. 40 yards on that last scamper.
What a great night for number 21. So Panthers now deep in Warrior territory at the 33-yard line. 9:16 to go in the third quarter. Gary pitches it to number 20, John St. John.
Grady St. John.
Grady St. John, thank you. So a new runner in the mix.
Well, this is a good time, too, to try out, first of all, a couple things that you want to work on a little bit because you still got that first team out there on defense. You want to work against them a little bit. And the other thing is maybe throw in a few guys. You want to give them a little bit more time against the number 1 defense, and this is a good opportunity for Holliston to do that.
Number 8, Crichton McKay, comes in at tight end. To Zindelet, left side. Big push by the Panthers in a scrum pile that falls Holliston's way on a 2nd down and 3. Looks like he's got the first down. Just short, 3rd down and 1.
Clock running. Coming up on 7:45 left to go in the third quarter. Holliston up 35-0 with the ball. They're marching.
Chris O'Connell in at tackle, along with 76 Daniel Campbell. This time, St. John, right side, slides through. First down, Panthers.
What a nice run by Grady. What he did is, first thing he did, he waited for the blocking to develop. As soon as he got it, he cut in, and then he took a quick little step to the side, and was able to pick up a few more yards. Nice run by Grady St. John.
Also number 58, Rob Quizani in at guard. Down to 6 minutes and 56 seconds. Clock running here in the third quarter. Panther drive started at their own 29-yard line. They've got a 1st and 10, ball at the 15. St. John to the left. Number 13, Teddy Ratcliffe on the right wing.
A false start by Holliston, knocking back 5 yards. This is a game that first false start was, one of the few, if only, things that Holliston hasn't done right tonight. I mean, everything they've done, offensive, defensive, special teams, they've really put on a show here tonight.
5 penalties for 41 yards if you're looking for something to nitpick.
No, we're not. No, not nitpicking tonight.
Tom will never nitpick. But the other thing you get going, Tom, not to, there's still about 17 minutes left in this game. But, now it starts creeping into your mind, next week, a big game in the TVL Lodge.
Go to Radcliffe on the jet play around the left side. Turns it up and picks up 6 or 7 yards. Number 13, his first run of the night. Number 23, Kevin Bailowitz in at tight end. Number 74, not on my program, comes in. It's on your big boy list.
74, no 74 here.
Could be a freshman. So 2nd down and 6. When the Panthers snap the ball, there'll be about 5 minutes to go in the third quarter as the fog really starts rolling in. Gary turns around and pitches it to St. John. He keeps his feet. Got a Panther first down inside the 10-yard line.
Another nice run. Grady, again, he waits for that play to develop. Then he hits the hole really quickly.
Down to 4 minutes and 29 seconds. Clock running here in the third quarter. Panthers leading 35-0, and now driving 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. St. John bottled up. Tried to spin his way out of that mess, but I think he got right back to the line of scrimmage. Actually, a loss of 1.
I think what they're
2nd down and goal.
I think what they're into now, Tom, is what we call in the TVL, the running time rule, where when the game is quasi out of hand, what they try and do is do a running time. If somebody steps out of bounds or something, they keep the clock running. So Holliston, right now, has kept this ball almost 7.5, coming up on 8 minutes.
Brian Gary to St. John, right through the middle. Touchdown, Panthers!
Well, they have a lot of different kids in now, but the same result with that offensive line, just doing a nice job. And, boy, St. John had himself a heck of a series there. And Holliston was able to eat up a little over 8 minutes in this third quarter, 2:54 left to go in the third. And they pull ahead 41-0.
Matt Tomaselli centering the ball to Brian Gary. Good snap. Mulvaney's kick is up and good. And with 2:54 to go in the third quarter, the Panthers are up 42-0 as they score here to start the third quarter. Grady St. John with his first Panther touchdown. And now that's made 4 different Panthers in the end zone tonight.
Well, this is a game. We came in here. We kind of didn't know what the story was. I think I told you early on that if Holliston plays their game, they're going to be okay. Well, they're playing their game, and right now they're quite a bit more than okay, sitting here at 42-0 with 2:54 left to go in the third.
Does this fog show up on the camera at all?
This reminds me of
Lisa,
this.
I tell you, it is just.
Was it Chicago and Philadelphia that played in that playoff game that you couldn't see anything?
Yes. Mulvaney's kick this time to the right, taken by Williams at the 15-yard line. Heads towards the Warrior bench, and number 23, Balowitz, lowers the boom at the 25.
See, now Billy Nash did exactly what you want to do there. Billy was outside. Billy had outside contained. That was his assignment. So he came down, and as Williams went to turn out, Billy was right there. He turned him back in and let the other guys take him. A lot of times what you feel you want to do is when you're in that situation that Billy's in, is you try and pinch in, and you get a good runner like Williams, and he can fake you and come to the outside and get to the outside and make a lot more yardage. But Billy Nash did a really nice job on coverage there.
So 2:42 to go here in the third quarter, 42-0. Handoff to Junta, and he's caught from behind by number 59, Sam Carell, and number 9, Tim Aylward. Let's see, we got number 67, Carter Capello in at defensive tackle. Try to get you some of the other new numbers as they swap in. Second down and 9 for the Warriors. Williams to pass. Looks through the fog. And he slips it down at the 20-yard line. A big loss.
Well, we're up here talking a little bit about the fog, but one of the things that happens when that fog comes in is that ball gets a little bit slick. And you have a kid back there who really, I'm guessing, hasn't played a lot of quarterback, at least this year. And, he's back there trying to look to throw the ball, and hands gets a little slippery.
So second down and 14. I see number 12, Matt Tomaselli. Number 16, Ryan Stanwood. Number 29, Connor Walsh. Williams to pass. Fires down the sideline. Incomplete. I think that was number 26, Christian Schneelock on in the coverage there. Also out there, number 27, Seth Bello. 62, Thornburg.
I think I see is that Ryan Stanwood over there, number 16?
Yep, got it. Number 8, Crichton McKay in at linebacker. That brings up a fourth down, and we got a timeout on the field with 1:06 to go in the third quarter, 42-0 Holliston. Cam Lund back to punt for Medfield.
They will probably lose this ball if it gets up at any height at all.
Nash and Gimblett back to receive the kick. Gimblett takes it on a bounce at the 50. Gets forward 5 yards to the 45.
Exactly what I talked about in that first quarter is if he gets the opportunity to get the ball, he'll take it. And that ball bounced, came right up to him, and he took off. Fortunately, the punt was a little bit low, so it stayed around the light, so you could kind of see the ball. Look like it had kind of a little halo around it.
Yeah.
You kind of come down. Well, of course, Mitch Gimblett, he's going to take the ball and run with it anyway. So 47 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
It actually, I'm looking over Bruce's shoulder, and on Facebook it looks better than it does in your little viewfinder, Lisa. Keep the cameras rolling. So 1st and 10 at the 45. War offense out there. St. John, right side. Drags a couple of Warriors across the 40 to the 39. Well, to the 40-yard line anyway. Number 53, Justin Baddock in at center. Number 74, I don't have 74.
Don't have 74. I think this is going to be the
that's
quarter.
the end of the third quarter with the Panthers leading the Warriors 42-0. And it's time for This Week in Holliston football history. What do you got, Jay?
Okay, in the fall of 1976, the Holliston football team opened the season by shutting out both Weston and Ashland. In game number 3, the Panthers hosted Medfield in the Panthers' home opener. Medfield was 1-1 and had their sights set on beating Holliston and taking the league crown. The first quarter was a defensive standoff with neither team scoring. Then, late in the second quarter, Holliston's Mike, is that Calitri? Mike Calitri, is that his name?
Calitri,
I'm sorry, Mike Calitri. Sorry, Mike Calitri intercepted the ball on the Holliston 30, ran it all the way back to the Medfield 6-yard line. Holliston then took the ball to the Medfield 2. From there, Gary Freeland took a handoff from quarterback Kevin Blaney, took the ball in for a score and a 6-0 Holliston lead with 3:24 left in the first half. The third quarter was also scoreless. And in the fourth quarter, Mark Abramo returned a punt to the Medfield 38-yard line. On 3rd and 6, Abramo then threw a 34-yard TD pass to Tom Mahoney. Dave Nash then scored the 2-point conversion to wrap up the scoring for Holliston in a 14-0 shutout.
Go Panthers. I remember that team. Great team. Went to the Super Bowl. St. John off the right side. Nice push by the Panthers, and he's got a gain of 3 on, that was on 2nd down and 5.
But wait,
Bring
there's
up a
more.
3rd down and 2.
There's more.
There's more.
Okay, so Holliston won 14-0. The incredible Holliston defense gave up only 74 total yards in that game. After their third straight shutout, Holliston went on to shut out Bellingham, Hopkinton, Dover, Sherburne, and Medway. After opening the season with 7 straight shutouts, Millis was the first team to put up any points against the Panthers in the fourth quarter. I'll keep going after this.
So 3rd down and 2 for Holliston. They look through the fog, see the referee raise his hand, says 10 seconds to go on the play clock. Gary pitches it. Let's see who that was. That was number 1, Joe Cassidy. He got enough for the first down. Where'd they mark it? Just short of a first down.
All right, let me finish this from the 1976 football season. Holliston then went on to beat Westwood 19-8 on Thanksgiving Day for a perfect 9-0 regular season, giving up only 16 regular season points.
That was an amazing defense that year. That was Coach Roll's first year. Got a timeout on the field with 9:17 to go in the fourth quarter. 42-0 Holliston. Topher Ryan's punt bounces at the 10, and it is going to come to a rest inside the 5-yard line. Medfield will start at its own 3.
Well, you mentioned Ken Dunn's book, and I'll tell you, I read quite a bit of it in the past, but to try and do these history things, it's just amazing. I never even realized this team, that's 16 points
in a whole season.
The whole season.
We're lucky we got a half.
I mean, that's yeah, that's really amazing. So you guys get a shot to get both editions of Ken Dunn's book, and then of course the stat book. You should really get it. There's some really cool stuff in there.
So 8 minutes and 49 seconds to go in the game. Panthers well in hand, having the game well in hand. Williams tries to break out. He picks up enough for the first down, and then across the 20-yard line for a big gain.
Nice job by Williams. And, he's really been superb tonight for this ball club.
Another timeout on the field with 8:24 to go in the fourth quarter. So first down and 10 for the Warriors. And handoff is hit right away. Number 53, Baddock on the tackle. No gain on the play.
Williams was out for that play, but he's going back in now.
Actually, a loss of 2. Also, with a possible, this is where you're missing the actual stats that happen in more modern games. In 1960, Henry Bullard rushed for 3 touchdowns, and those 3 touchdowns, 45, 30, and 60, totaled 135 yards. That was just 3. He may have rushed for over 200 yards that game.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Williams out of bounds.
I'm going to see Henry this year. I go down to see. He's down in Florida now. For those who know Henry Bullard, he's living down in Florida with his wife Joan, and I go down there and spend some time with him most years. And you want to talk about the nicest guy. You would never know. I mean, he never brags. He never does anything.
Yeah.
Just nicest guy. But boy, I guess he was a heck of a running back.
Now that's back when in 1960 that was a Thanksgiving Day game because Medfield was the Holliston's Thanksgiving Day rival for 8 years.
Wow.
Holliston leading that series, 6 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie before switching over to Westwood. Out of the backfield, Williams fires incomplete. Also the scoring record, most touchdowns in 1993, Brett Bartolini.
Brett Bartolini.
With 3 catches for 112 yards. Each of those was for a touchdown.
Not related to Joe Bartolini of Granite Landscape.
Nice little plug there. Bartolini also had a 55-yard punt return. He is the number 2 all-time leading touchdown catches.
Brent Bartolini?
Who's number 1?
Zach Elkinson.
Zach Elkinson with 30 touchdown catches is the all-time Panther leader. And Zach Elkinson actually had the most receiving yards against Medfield. In 2013, he caught 4 passes for 151 yards and 3 touchdowns from Matt Jay. Matt Jay only threw for 11 for 14, 247 yards, and 5 touchdowns for the Panther quarterback that game.
Did Matt Jay's dad play on the
he played on the 76 team,
76
right?
team, yeah. I thought I saw his name there.
He was a tight end and defensive end for that team. He graduated with me in 1978.
40 years ago. 6:25 left to go in this ball game. Both teams giving a lot of kids some time here tonight, which is great to see. Kids put in a lot of time, as much practice time as everybody else, and they get a shot to play in it, and they just love it.
Inside handoff to Aylward. Picks up a couple of yards. Down to 6 minutes to go in the game.
So it's tough, Tom, we talk about this so much in high school sports, even in regular sports, in matchups. So it's tough to determine. It's tough to take comparative scores and everything. But, Ashland beat Medfield, right, 14-7.
Right.
So I'm guessing they're somewhat equal. It's not saying anything. And Ashland can come out and annihilate Holliston. Who knows? It's all about matchups. But right now, the big one that Holliston's looking for, which you always want to look for in the
pitch to number 35.
Whoa, that's a face mask. Whoa, that's going to be 15 yards. Wow.
Nice run. That is Chris Del Ponte, or it was Chris Del Ponte.
Yeah,
I think we had that number from last game.
It was in the red uniforms. I'm hoping it is in these uniforms.
Well, they switched these freshmen in, and we just don't have
it's
the
hard.
numbers.
Yep.
Well, we were talking at halftime to Christian Schneelock's dad, who was saying that Christian's two older brothers do a lot of bragging about how their Panther teams might have been better than this Panther team. And back in the day, sibling rivalry. Well, sibling rivalry, we talked to last game. We talked about Joe Bellomo, who's at the U.S. U.S. Merchant Marine Academy at Kings Point, New York, playing football. Captain of the football team and fullback. First down and 10. And a flag on the play.
Yeah, little movement.
But anyway, so Joe Bellomo has now rushed 264 times for 1,062 yards and 7 touchdowns, which is now 5 yards more from scrimmage than his brother Matt Bellomo had at Holy Cross. So just a little bragging rights out there, Joe.
And you know what Matt's going to say about that. Well, I was at Holy Cross, and interesting.
Now they both have 7 touchdowns, but pitch again to number 35.
Joe and Matt Bellomo, great kids, and Joe has done exceptionally well.
36.
He wants to. I believe Joe wants to go into the Marines, and he's done exceptionally well competing against Marines in some of these camps and everything. And he's done a great job, and he's a special kid, I'll tell you.
I saw the Edwards at Celebrate Holliston, Matt Edwards, who went to UConn and then played overseas. Played football.
Yep.
And talked to his parents. They talked to the Bellomos and said Joe Bellomo spent 8 months at sea as part of his training.
Yeah.
That's more than a 3-hour cruise.
And he ran some. I'll get to it right after this.
Pitch to number 31. Right side.
Joe ran some competition.
Jake Wilcox.
Some competition with the against a whole bunch of Marines. I'm not quite sure what it is, but and he came in third, and one of the other kids from the Maritime Academy came in first. So they came in first and third, and they beat all these Marines. And I guess one of the Marine drill sergeants or whatever, was very impressed with him.
Yeah.
So he's going to go in, and he's going to be a big plus for the Marines. I tell you, I wouldn't want to mess with him. 2:23, the clock running. 42-0, Holliston in the lead with the ball.
Another flag on the play. Also, Panther alumni. There are 7 different Panther alumni playing college football this year. Nick Athey is the captain at Bentley. He's a senior with 138 career tackles. Also at Bentley is Grant Buchanan. He's got 129 career points for the Falcons. Jack Barrett's now a tight end at Trinity College. Sam Athey, a sophomore at Stonehill. He has 27 tackles in just 4 games. Mark Mulvaney's at Tufts University, and Sam Ratcliffe is at Hamilton College. That'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the fog is kind of lifting. We can see some of our camera people now. Running time, 1:15 left to go in the game.
Panthers go over the 300-yard mark on offense, 310 total yards of offense.
Wow.
Thank you, Los. Topher Ryan's kick bounces at the 20. How that missed, though, Medfield player, I don't know, but it did. And the Warriors are going to be backed up to their own 14 with 40 seconds to go here in the game.
Give us a chance before the game ends to thank some of our people here. Chris McNaney downfield camera, and Christian Boudet on the camera. Of course, the great Bruce Guilfoyle here, and all this other stuff that he runs down here. All these machines. I don't know what these things are, but he does a lot of good stuff for us. And of course, a lovely Lisa up here with the big camera. And we got a shout out to Steve Hedrick too, who
brought the sandwiches
from
the
Super
sandwiches
tonight. Boy, I got to tell you, Super makes great sandwiches. They really do.
And we're not saying that because they pay us to say that.
No.
Although we would.
We would if they want to pay us.
Chris, if you want to.
No, you don't have to, Chris.
No, really. No, yes. Williams takes the snap, fakes the handoff, but he is brought down for a loss. Number 54, Burchard, and number 9, Aylward.
Let's see if they're even going to run another play here.
Oh, just a dominating effort by the Panther first team against Westwood. They came out strong, came out hard, and dominated that line of scrimmage, and 4 rushing touchdowns out of the 5 touchdowns in the first half. Kind of says it all.
And I think they're just going to let the clock run out, and that will do it.
So your final score here from Medfield, the Panthers go to 3-0 with a 42-0 win over Medfield. Medfield drops to 1-3. Holliston heads to Comedian Field, where they will face the Hopkinton Hillers next week, which will be a great matchup.
Yeah, we got to check on the score to see the Ashland Hopkinton game tonight, which is the first time, maybe forever, that the Ashland has played Hopkinton during the regular season. Because of course that's a great rivalry. But yeah, we're going to be going to committee. Hopkins is coming to committee, and I think that's going to be it for the TBL Lodge, I believe.
Very exciting season 2018. And now HCAT's onboard statistician Carlos Canto with Los's final lowdown.
Thanks a lot, Tom. The final score from Calvin George Fisher Field here in Medfield, Massachusetts. Holliston 42, Medfield nothing. All Panthers in this one, 310 total yards of offense for Holliston, 102 yards passing, 208 yards rushing. That's 14 first downs for the Panthers, only 6 first downs for Medfield. They did not cross the 100-yard mark on total offense. Great night for the Holliston defense, only 78 yards of total offense for Medfield. Panthers dominating on third down as well. They were 4 of 6 on third down on offense. On defense, they held the Warriors to 0 of 7 on third down. So they did a really good job in those key plays on defense. Dominating the time of possession as well, 27 minutes and 1 second to only 16 minutes, 59 seconds for Medfield. Quarterback Matt Arvanitis for Holliston was 7 of 8 for 102 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. A very efficient night for the Panthers QB. Player of the night tonight was definitely Tristan Benson. He had 138 yards on 12 carries, a long rush of 39 yards, and that includes 2 touchdowns. Also with 2 touchdowns was Dylan Ibbotson. He had 16 yards on 4 carries. Grady St. John had 36 yards on 7 carries and a touchdown as well. Billy Nash had 3 catches for 42 yards and a touchdown. Also with 40 yards catching the football was Topher Ryan. He had 2 catches. Defensively for the Panthers, leading all tacklers was Kevin Lyons with 32, and also Timothy Aylward. He had 3 recorded tackles as well. Sacks from Tim Aylward and Ryan Burchard, and 2 big plays on defense as well. One from Sean Keast. He had a big interception in the first half, and then David Harding had a big punt block in the first half as well. For more stats and information on the Holliston Panthers, you can follow us on Twitter at HCATFootball, and that's the lowdown.
Thank you, Los. Great job by the whole HCAT team tonight. Jay?
Nice job.
3-0.
3-0. We're coming up next week. We're going to be in the Comedian for the Hopkinton game. For those who can't, once again, I want to thank all you who are watching us on Facebook. For those who can't make it to the game, listen in. We'll be there. It's going to be a great one. A great Holliston defense against a pretty good Hopkinton offense. We'll see how that works out. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Good night, everybody.